Just breathe. I'm really nervous. I don't know why I'm whispering. This video is really hard for me. I've filmed this 3 times now. And it's really hard for me to talk about my story without getting emotional. So 3rd time's a charm here, guys, but my story is very special to me, and I'm hoping that in sharing this video that it can impact at least one person and change the course, the direction of their health and fitness journey. That's the sole reason why I'm sharing my story, not because I'm super proud of the decisions or the thought process that I had as a teenager, but because I want to inspire and help someone out there. So again, if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more health, fitness, workout, sit down, awkward living room talk videos that make me uncomfortable. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into the video. Let me have some water first though. Okay, so I'm gonna share my pre-fitness just so you guys can get the background story of how it all started, and then I'll take you through the rest of the way. So I grew up playing sports. My parents put me in so many sports, but I played mostly basketball, soccer, and then as I got to high school, I ran track and cross country, and I fell in love with the natural high, the endorphins that running gives you. Weightlifting does the same thing, by the way, but I did not know that till later on. So yeah, I ran track and cross country. One reason was because I truly loved running. The second reason was because as a teenage girl, which I know a lot of teenage girls struggle with their self-worth, their identity, their body image, and I had the same thing. I just wanted to be loved, and I wanted to be part of the popular cool crowd, or to fit in and have my own kind of flow, I guess you could say, through high school. So my junior year of high school, I started dressing more skirts, dresses, more feminine, just trying to grab attention, whatever you want to call it, because I had no self-worth, so I thought my worth came from others telling me how I looked, which is not the case. I wish I could go back in time and tell my 17-year-old self that I'm an idiot. No, I wish I could go back though and speak some truth into her. So I joined the running team. So going into my senior year, I ran the summertime with the team. We ran about 5 to 10 miles a day, 6 days a week, sometimes 5, mostly 6 days, sometimes double days. So I was running a lot. And unfortunately, I was not fueling my body properly with nutrition. I honestly had no idea what to eat, and I didn't care. I would run and I would eat very little, and I saw results quick. I got very thin, and I'm not proud of it. I lost at least a good 20 pounds. I was never in high school overweight because I did play other sports, but I was never super thin. And I got thin, I got frail, to be honest. And I was happy. I mean, I thought I was happy. I was not actually happy. And then cross country season finished, moved on to track season. And again, I was running long distance with the team. I ran the mile and the 2 mile. So we would go out on long runs again. And over time, it took a few months, but gradually I started having some really bad knee and hip pain. And so I went to see the doctor one day, and you know, when you go in for an appointment or a checkup, they'll weigh you, they'll ask you a few questions, and then the doctor will come in the room. So they weighed me, the doctor came in, he asked me several questions, one being, when is the last time that I had my period? And I couldn't remember the last time. It may have been 4, 5, 6 months. I wasn't really keeping track. And at that time, I really didn't mind. it was like, yeah, I don't have to have this thing that sucks and comes up every month. And I didn't really think anything of it or think that it was a problem or that my body was not functioning or my hormones were not functioning properly. And until obviously later on, now I know what I know, but at that time I didn't know anything and I didn't care. So he asked me a few more questions, did a few tests, and then I'll never forget what he said to me. He said, Lauren, this is serious. You are classified as pre-anemic, so that was one. So pre-anemic, meaning that I was very close to being anemic. My iron levels were not where they were supposed to be, and I needed to up those. But then the next thing he said really hit me hard. He said, if you continue down this path, you will be classified as having anorexia nervosa. I take extremely seriously, and I don't feel like I have the credentials or that I should be talking to you guys about this too much. If you feel that you know someone or you maybe are watching this and you're like, that's me, I don't get my period, I lost a lot of weight quick, and I don't eat, I know I don't eat the way I should. I don't eat enough. I'm eating less on purpose to lose weight. I recommend that you go see someone and have that checked up, because I'm not the person that you should be going to. Although if you do have questions or just need someone to talk to, you can definitely reach out to me. You can send me an email or a DM, and I would love to chat with you guys. Anyways, back to the story. So he looked me in the eye, told me that, and said, you need to gain some weight, and gaining weight will help you with your knee and hip, because your body literally doesn't have enough nutrients to be able to function properly. And so it's taking, in layman's terms, it's taking from you and it's eating away at your muscle, and it's causing you to have these injuries. And so obviously there's other things involved, but that was one of the main things. Is he said you need to gain weight. And I had a track meet coming up, the CIF finals coming up in about a month from that doctor's visit. And so I was like, well, will I be able to be ready, and can I run in that meet? And he said, well, if you take me seriously and you do this, you might be able to. And so I gained some weight. I started eating more. I gained a healthy weight, I should say. And I was more at where I should be, and my knee and hip stopped giving me issues. I also got a boyfriend who is now my husband, and I thought, man, I did well in my races. I'm healthy. I have a boyfriend. Oh man, life is great, right? But that wasn't the case. I still had these thoughts in my head about not loving myself, looking in the mirror and saying, ew, you're disgusting. Ew, what is that cellulite? What is that, a stretch mark? And I still had these negative, terrible thoughts about myself. And that rubbed off onto a lot of my relationships with my friends, my boyfriend. I just had a lot of things that I needed to fix in myself internally before I could have someone else really love on me. And thank God my husband now is so patient with me, was so patient with me back then, because I mean, we've been through so much, but it's just so crazy how we are where we are today. And I'm so thankful, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without his patience, and also by the grace of God, for sure. So anyways, carrying back on to the story, I feel like this is getting really long. Moving forward, starting college. So I'm starting college. I went to a fashion school in downtown LA. It's a 2-year school. It's pretty rigorous, and I had a lot of sleepless nights, pulled a lot of all-nighters, a lot of frozen dinners, still had no idea what to eat to fuel my body. I was running, but my running decreased significantly just because I didn't have time. So I was running maybe 2 days a week, 3 to 5 miles, when before I was literally running 6 days a week, 5 to 10 miles. So my body had no idea what to do. So what did it do? From all of the stress, the terrible eating habits, and the lack of exercise, I gained a lot of weight. And I will put a picture up here. I didn't take that many photos of myself when I was very thin or at my heaviest point, because when you don't feel good in your body, you don't want to take photos. I mean, right? But I have a few, so I'll add one at my thinnest right here, and then at my heaviest right here. So I went through my whole freshman year of college just gaining a lot of weight and hating even more what I saw in the mirror. And I don't think my self-worth really started to get that much better. I started my second year there at the fashion school, and one of my friends that I had made in class was getting certified as a personal trainer, and she asked me if I wanted to go work out with her. She's like, oh yeah, just come on, it'll be fun, like 5 a.m. workout or something like that. I was apprehensive and literally scared out of my mind, guys, to go do that workout, but I went and I fell in love with the process. And through the process of working out, I saw my body change, but also my mental state of being changed. It was no longer, oh my God, you're so ugly, Lauren, like, how could you, whatever it was going on in my head. It was more like, you know what, Lauren, you are working on yourself and you are bettering yourself. And what's not to love when you are just trying your best each and every day? That's all you can do. When I started working out, during my workouts, I would reflect, and I would just take that time to just be in the moment and be by myself, and not only like lay it all out on the weights, but just also to think about how blessed I am and how amazing my body is, not for what it looks like, but for what it can do. And so even though I wasn't where I wanted to be, that's okay, because I would get there one day. But I was just happy to be able to do what I was doing and happy in the moment. That became like my mantra, my thought process was, okay, Lauren, you don't look like whatever you want to look like, but you're there, you're showing up, you're putting in the work, you are freaking amazing. Your body can pick up this weight and it can do this for you. That's awesome. So that to me is way more important than any physical change that you can have. That mental change that was happening inside of me literally translated to all of my relationships with my boyfriend, now husband, my parents, my friends. I was a different person. I didn't mention, but this is very important to mention, I had these 2 roommates that were very thin. I don't want to say like anorexic because I don't know their situations per se, but they were both very thin. I remember asking them like, oh, what are you guys eating today? And they would say, oh, just this one piece of squash. We'll just cook it on the stove, heat it up and eat it. And I was like, that's it? And they're like, yeah, we're just trying to lose weight. And then I would see them go outside to go smoke. And as most of you guys know, smoking curbs your appetite. I remember seeing that and being so sad, because that was the way I was just a few years ago from that moment in time. that was the way I was, and I didn't realize it until I saw it happening in someone else's life. So when something happens to you, you don't necessarily realize the magnitude of it until you see it going on with someone else. And I wanted so badly to help them, but they really didn't want help. But I knew in my heart that I wanted to help people love themselves. And knowing how amazing the gym is for your mental state of being, I wanted to help women feel beautiful again, not only physically, but more importantly, mentally. So that's what I made my mission ever since I left that fashion school. I got my degree, I finished, I left, I went on the pursuit of bettering my own self first, because I needed to fix a lot of areas in my life before I could go help others with theirs. So once I got to a place where I felt that I could help others, I decided to get certified as a personal trainer. I got certified, I started my first job at LA Fitness, and there was a point in time where I had like 60 to 80 clients, I want to say. It was very busy, but I loved seeing all of my clients and hearing their own personal stories, their own struggles, helping them feel good and have their own self-worth was amazing to me. And so I stayed there for a year, and then I left to do my own thing, and so I was independent for the last few years. That's what I've been doing for the last few years. And then recently, the last year, I said, you know what, there's so many people, so many more people I want to help than just in the surrounding city. So I decided to hop online, and now I'm online as a fitness coach, and it's just been unbelievably amazing how much God has blessed my life, and I wouldn't be able to do it without Him. I would be able to do it without the support of my parents, without the support of my husband. You know, it's just crazy from someone who cared so much about what people thought and wanted to look a certain way and had no self-worth, to literally now I don't really care what people think about me. I mean, obviously I want to be a good person and I still care a lot about people, but if someone says something negative to me or doesn't, you know, it's not a big deal. I know who I am, and I know that my self-worth does not come from their opinions. So I feel like did I leave anything out? Trying to think. There's a whole other aspect that goes into it, which maybe can be for another video. The fitness industry for sure, that it can be a lot self-centered, and being a part of the fitness industry and competing definitely had me focused on me a lot more than it did on others. And so that's why I will not be competing again, which most people know, but if you didn't know, now you know. I want to focus on helping others achieve their goals and less on my goals. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch it, and I hope it wasn't that awkward. I left out quite a did I leave out anything? I don't know. That's like the very shorthand. It's already at like 20 minutes or so. So that was like the short version of my story. I hope this helped you guys out. If it did, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. I already said that, but I'll say it again. Okay, this is so awkward. We're just gonna walk away now. Walk out of frame. Until next time, bye guys.